Recap, reported widely in the press, with claims that a UFO may have caused the damage to the turbine.
People who live nearby say that it was hit by a UFO. Residents remember being woken in the early hours of Sunday morning by a huge crash. When the sun came up, one of the turbines was bent and broken. That came after several witnesses reported glowing spheres in the sky earlier the same night.
I just suddenly saw this light appear in front of us, and it just seemed to whiz sort of across the sky towards the wind turbines. I said, there was 2 or 3 of us in the car, and I just said to the other 2, what was that?
Several other people claimed to have seen strange lights in the sky, and one person even reported seeing an explosion.
It was all over these wind turbines, and then look what they woke up to.
I saw a light. I was travelling from North Somercotes to South Somercotes towards Louth. There was a light, a static light, which was over the wind turbines.
I've just zoomed right in there so you can see the join where the blade joins the main rotating body, and they look pretty mechanically sound to me. If one of these blades just came off due to mechanical failure, I can't imagine it travelling very far. No more than a few hundred feet. And apparently it took them a while to find the missing blade, so I've heard. For me, it seems far too much of a coincidence that there were multiple UFO sightings of an object hovering above this wind farm on the night that the blade came off. So, after the incident, further witness reports appeared in the local media. Speculation has continued amongst residents in Conisholme, with some saying they saw strange flashing tentacle-shaped lights above the wind farm on the night before it happened. Now, following this documentary, I was contacted by a chap called Chris Donington, who lives near the wind farm, and this is what he said in his email. Hi Richard, at the time of the Conisholme incident, I was living in Grainthorpe, about 2 miles away. Unfortunately, I didn't see any UFO activity. A good friend of mine was working at the time for East Lindsey District Council, the local authority. He told me that a health and safety officer who attended the site the following morning after the incident had said that the turbine blade that had come off was not on the site. You alluded to the point in your film that it took a while to find the blade. Apparently they didn't. So, late last year, I went to meet Chris in Lincolnshire and get his statement on camera.
Yeah, basically it was a good friend of mine for 20 years. At the time was working at East Lindsey District Council. And just after the time of the incident, he made an off-the-cuff remark to me that he'd spoken to somebody from the authority who'd attended the site after the accident occurred, and the day after, immediately after. And he said that the turbine blade that had detached from the wind turbine was not on the site. Was nowhere to be found on the site.
Right. So it's possible then that this blade, which was 65 feet long, was never actually recovered?
Well, you would expect it to be on the site the day after the incident. I mean, I've looked back at I think it's the ITN news item on the incident, and the interviewer categorically says that the blade was not on site. So that was obviously the information they were given on the day.
Right. This does seem to make sense for 2 reasons. Firstly, in the Sun newspaper, the article stated, baffled power chiefs said of the smash in Conisholme, Lincolnshire, we have a team investigating, there was no trace of the missing blade. Not until the following day did they report, we've examined the turbine, the fallen blade and the surrounding area, implying they had found the blade. It's not the sort of thing that would be difficult to find, a 65-foot long turbine blade. So why did they report it missing in the first news reports? And secondly, the media provided no photograph of this supposed recovered blade. If you know more about this incident, please let us know, because if you know anything about the UFO subject, you will know that a UFO to do this kind of thing is not unprecedented. And if you dispute that, just read the book Need to Know by Timothy Good if you want evidence for that statement. Now,